And welcome everybody. It is Friday the 13th. How exciting. So it is Friday the 13th, 2024, December Friday the 13th, 2024. And I'm about to start and finish up on this painting. I'm going to work on this. So not start it, I'm going to work on it, and we're almost done with it. But I figured why not make today an art share day. So if you're tuning in, maybe later. I guess it might be too soon to be saying this now because nobody, it takes a minute for people to pile in. But hey, if you're here right now and you're seeing this and you want to share your art page or whatever, your video page or your sculpture page or your writing page or whatever, feel free to share that now. We'll talk about it. Let's do it, people. But right now, opening up my door. I gotta open up my door because when I work with oil paint, it tends to get very smelly. The smell gets very strong in this apartment. The smell could get very strong in this apartment with oil paint, so I like to open it up. But Marie-Ann Sorensen, welcome. How are you? How was your morning? I know it's probably pretty late where you're at right now. What's going on, Omizu? We all know a few artists here. Omizu, aka Corey the pop art goat. Here, let's start with Corey's Omizu Paints Instagram page. If you have any reasons that you don't want to share your artwork, feel free to let me know. But let's start with the Omizu, some Minnesota pop art work. So Minnesota pop art. By the way, I just discovered that Minnesota is like one of the top art cities, is like a booming art town. So that's pretty cool. Oh yeah. By the way, how awesome is this right here? Let me see. How awesome is this art piece right here, people? Made by Minnesota Pop Art. I believe it's already owned. He did a trade for it, but this is freaking awesome. I just gotta say, like this Mecha Godzilla monster thing, absolutely amazing. I haven't seen it in person, but this looks like digital art, but it's not. I'm pretty sure it's painted with how was this painted, Minnesota? Was it painted with acrylic or oil, or how was this painted? I'm trying to get the reflections off of this, but my goodness, what an amazing painting right there. That's not mine. Again, this is a promote your own Instagram page or whatever art day. I'm going to be painting when I have a moment, but just wanted to start with sharing some other work here. Oh yeah, it's Mecha Godzilla. It says right there in the captions. So made with acrylic. But what's really cool is, I mean, obviously, the first thing that you notice is this amazing metallic foreground here on the figure. Incredible. But at the same time, I'm also fascinated by how this background was accomplished. It looks like it was actually lit on fire, or is actually like a photo of fire or something. But yeah, so that is Minnesota pop art. I believe this is already has found an owner. So it's not all that, bro. Tyler, it is definitely all that. This is a pretty amazing painting. Very, very crisp, tight. Captures the metallic colors, super pop. Tyler, by the way, I am totally open to sharing some of your work as well. If anybody wants to share their art and have their art promoted or talked about, discussed, criticized, whatever. You know what, Tyler? All facts are pretty much opinions anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and call my opinion a fact. But hey, you are entitled to your own facts as well, dude. So with that said, this is some interesting stuff right here. I guess this is an animation that he did. And aka Tyler, feel free to share your ads if you want to have your art discussed. If you believe that your art is all that, I'm happy to talk about it. I'm happy to promote the heck out of your all that. By the way, look at this. I just noticed this detail. Looks like it was burned at the top. Although I am curious, let's see, did the final piece have a... Yeah, the final piece has white behind it as the burn mark. I guess that's supposed to represent the outer sky. All right, Tyler Covey. Still loves me, bro. Or maybe he loves Minnesota pop art. I don't know, but let's see what else. Oh yeah, I love these cats. Picasso's cat. I think you did a series of these, which is pretty awesome. A series of Picasso's cat. And yeah, these are amazing. This would be a great series to see in a gallery. And I think these are the main, most recent things, so pretty cool. Yeah, that's way better. So you're a big fan of Picasso's cat. So this whole piece right here, I can't zoom out, but it's multiple pieces. There's this pop art element to it, the pop art, and then the Picasso's cat. So again, this is not my work. This is Minnesota Pop Art's work, who's in the room right now, Omizu Paints, by Corey. And this is like an entire series of this. I wish I could swipe through this and see all the different versions of this Picasso's cat, but maybe one day when you get to it. Because on your wall, I think on Omizu's wall, Corey's wall, he has like an entire series of these in different colors. But these are pretty cool. Very interesting, creative. Love it. These definitely have something going for them. So anyway, anybody who pops in, feel free to share your at. Let's see, what is your at so we can talk about what is your at for discussion. Done. What is your at for discussion? We're going to be discussing people's ats. Actually, you know what? I think... So I guess we won't be able to see the top of my painting, but that's okay. Actually, maybe if I raise this a little bit, will that help? If I raise this? Oh, yeah, there we go. Just raise that a little bit, and problem solved. Solution found. And let's start this Q&A. It's going to be, what is your at for discussion? So anybody who wants to share their at, their profile page, I only do Instagram, TikTok. I have X, but I don't think that's really a good platform for artists. It can be. X can, but I have not found it to be the most effective platform. So anyway, let's get started on, get going on this painting. We've had the opportunity to look at one amazing art page by Corey, aka Minnesota Pop Art, aka The Man, aka Omizu Paints. So Picasso had many cats. I would not be surprised if Picasso was a cat guy. I feel like if you're an artist, I feel like more artists have owned cats than owned dogs, and I would actually be really curious to have that as a discussion. First, the question would be, do more artists are artists more likely to own cats or dogs? And if I was to take a guess, I would say that artists are more likely to own cats. And if I was to go down that discussion, I'd be curious to have a discussion as to why. But I don't have enough information for the beginning, but I guess it would be enough to start off. I mean, I think we can assume that artists are more likely to own cats than dogs. But here we go. I'm almost finished with this painting, and I just feel like there's a couple more areas to work on. But as far as that goes, yeah, I don't really feel like I need to add that much more into here. Add a nice little thing right here. And let's go with our dark blue here, our blue. We're going to go right into here, into these little doorways, and we're just going to fill it with paint. I don't want to leave these doorways empty. I'm going to go with some blacks and browns and blues and just fill these doorways with paint. Just to give it some added design here. And I guess they're not even doorways, they're just like archways. Artists are more likely to own cats too because cats are more independent, giving the artist more time to create, yet providing companionship and love and possibly inspiration too. Heather, what a deep thought. Yes. Well, thanks for joining in on that discussion. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think as an artist, you know, dogs can definitely take up a lot of time. And I don't know, I mean, is there anything more about cats that possibly uh, is makes for a more popular pet for artists than a dog, other than the fact that, you know, dogs are a lot of work, and because dogs bring joy and they take up a lot of time and they can be inspiration too. But you know, I don't know for sure if Picasso had a cat. I'm just going to take Omizu's word that he had a cat, unless it's a figurative idea that he was doing. But I think Salvador Dali is one of the famous artists who's known for having a cat. And I have cats. Now, I do have cats. I do love dogs. I just can't have them in this apartment. So, who knows? And I know a lot of writers who have cats. But is a cat more of a popular pet for the creative artist? For the artist, or not? What does the world say? So cats are housemates. What do you mean by that, world? Is there I can't tell if there's like a negative connotation there, as in like cats are just another housemate rather than like a friend, or kind of confused what the connotation is there, or if there is any. By the way, this is an open discussion. You're not going to get downvoted or upvoted here. You're not going to get downvoted or upvoted like on Reddit or anything. So, you know, whatever your opinion is, we're just going to take it as a fact. A fact to be discussed. Yes, there we go. So here we go. Cats. Who doesn't love a cat? I love cats. I've come to love cats. Cats weren't always my favorite pet, but they're definitely now one of my favorites. I love cats. I've got 2 cats and two cats plus 2 foster cat kittens. So a total of 4 felines in this home right now. They're all sleeping. I guess this is the perfect time to sleep. But one of them is a black cat, which means I'm not superstitious, but because many people are superstitious, today's probably a great day to celebrate black cats. So Friday the 13th, let's celebrate black cats today. But that said, let's go ahead and go around on this piece, and I'm just going around darkening. My work is beautiful, Heather. You have Princess Salvador Dali and Van Gogh. It's had both cats and dogs. Dali, no, cats are great. They're more like your equals. More like equals. Yeah, I guess so. They definitely, yeah. Yeah, I definitely see how dogs are, you know, they're dependent. They need a leader, and if you're not there to like lead them, then they kind of like do their own thing. They need guidance. Dogs need a lot of guidance. Unless you happen to get a dog that just naturally is like a, you know, a dog that leads, like I guess like a natural born husky. But I think most cats can be pretty independent and chill. But at the same time, I've known very dependent cats as well. There's some cats that are pretty needy. Cats need, but I think once cats have their food, they feel like they no longer need you until the next meal. Sometimes, but anyway, yeah. So how does that contribute to a creative practice, though, as far as art goes? I don't know. Maybe having less things dependent on you means you get more time to just think about art. So anyway, by the way, anyone here is free to share their ats. Anyone here is free to share their social media profiles. One thing that I learned recently as I started to have my exhibitions with my work, group shows, exhibitions, things like that. One thing that I learned is that there are people who are actually scared to show their work. And it never even, I mean, maybe it crossed my mind a little that, you know, it might be nerve-wracking to show my work the first time, but I wasn't as nervous as I possibly thought I might be. And, you know, maybe that's from posting on social media all the time. But when I was there, I had this interesting conversation with somebody. One of their questions to me was, dude, are you nervous? Like, are you nervous to be here at this group show with all these other great artists? And I was like, no, not at all. And I just found that interesting. And they were like, oh, well, I would totally be. And that just, and then I went to met another artist somewhere, and he was telling me how he had one show like 8 years ago, and then he quit painting after that show for whatever reason. And he was like, dude, I was so nervous during my show at the group show. And he asked me, like, do I get nervous? And I was like, no, not really. I didn't get nervous during art shows for whatever reason. I love being at art shows to be able to talk about my work and just be in that environment. I love it. It's great. It's wonderful. So anyway, I share that story for anyone who's like feeling that maybe they want to share their work, but they're feeling, you know, uncomfortable or nervous. Like, especially on social media, it's not that big a deal, right? Like, don't make it a big deal. This is really for fun. I'm not here to brutal critique your work, unless you want me to just like take a poop on it. That's okay. You just have to request that. But yeah, ultimately, if you want to have your work looked at, let's do a share. So anyway, you're just off a 13-hour shift in a hospital. You're typing that's cool, no problem. Mistakes happen. In the country you grew up in, cats roam free. Country you live now, they're housebound. You really miss the free-range cats. So what about free-range cats do you actually like? Because I think in most areas, you know, people don't really like. I mean, I guess they keep the rodent population down. That's one benefit of having free-range cats, right? They keep the rodent population down. They hunt squirrels. And yeah, just brightening up some of these areas. And let's see, how do I'm trying to decide whether I want to leave some of these outlines like just imperfect outlines, or whether I want to go over all these lines again with some new lines. And I think I'm just going to leave them imperfect to capture just that overall feel. Like, question to people watching, when you look at this, do you notice the outlines that some are like poking through and some of it's kind of like blended in? Like, I know right here, I might want to fix right here. Cat?
It's me, yes.
I'll fix right here, but I'm curious about the other outlines, whether it's distracting. So if anybody wants to chime in on whether some of these imperfect outlines are distracting or not, feel free to. I'm totally open to your critiques and your thoughts. But at the same time, yeah. So there we go. And it's sad because I can't draw like a straight line the same way I would on like on a paper. Can't do the straight line the same way I might on paper. But like, you know, just a quick straight line, perfect straight line. Here we go. Bringing this down. I do want to darken some of the lines a little bit, at least right here. Line work. Hopefully line work's not the first thing the people notice. So your friend owned an art gallery here in Belfast, Ireland. Belfast, Ireland. Belfast, Ireland. Used to put on exhibitions for artists to come show their work. It was always very inspiring to hear artists speak about their work. Like seeing cats out and about doing their thing. Never seeing a cat outside is kind of sad. The piece is awesome. Thanks so much, World Look. Appreciate you. Let's see. This sort of area is sort of blending in a bit too much. I want to find like a nice gray to separate it. Nice green gray. So it's going. Oh, what's going on here?
I need to have the fireplace on.
Huh?
You need to have the fireplace on with the doors.
Right.
Right?
Right. Brilliant.
Yes. Just go. Okay. Simba.
Good thinking, babe.
Where are you?
Good thinking.
Hi, baby.
So I'm gonna blend in some of this color on this side anyway. And you know what? I think it's time to start adding alternative colors rather than trying to focus on these outlines. I think the outlines are good, just a minor detail. So let's see. I'm gonna take this brush and see if there's anywhere I can add in some more detail. Let's brush this part just a little bit better so that it doesn't look like there's like these little streaks on the side. Get rid of this streakiness. And maybe we could throw this into here. Yeah, there we go. Because that was actually an awning. So we're going to add some blue into this awning here. And here we go. We got this light going on. I like it so far, but I want to improve these lights to make it look more glowy as opposed to just like this bright yellow space. So let me see how I'm gonna do that. I need to get rid of some of this color right here. It's a really dark color, so let's go into here. Draw that on. By the way, for those of you wondering, this is in Pasadena, California. Pasadena is considered one of America's first developed towns, or they have like one of America's first highways or suburbs or something like that. And they have a great art scene. This is a playhouse there that they do a lot of theater in. So that's what this is all about. That's what this painting is, just that location. So let me paint this blonde woman. So this blonde woman had a little bit of an ochre into the hair, so it's not too yellow. And this was one of the other artists who was painting there that evening with me. Give her some detail. And and here we go. We're gonna add some pink to this. We're gonna go pink into our piece right here. So this is a fountain. And I don't know why I feel the need to explain everything that I'm painting, but or sharing all the items that I'm painting, but since it should kind of like reflect itself, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't that important. But the piece is awesome. Thank you, World Look. Gonna go in here and add just a variety of color. And let's see, we're just gonna go add color all the way to the top here. Let's go with a little bit of blue. We're gonna go add some blue here, make it a blue-green, just to capitalize on a difference between our pink and red. And let's try to add a little bit of this around. All the way to the top. And I do remember there being a tree, so I have since painted over it, but let me see if I can repaint this tree here. We're gonna go down like a green, and then we're just gonna do an abstract tree. It's not gonna be exact. I don't have the photo reference, but just go with a figurative tree, a made-up tree right here with all these angles and We're gonna add some blue and red, yellow leaves and purple and figure it out from there. Let's see what happens. We're gonna add purple leaves, adding some red and purple into this. We're gonna go boom, boom, boom. I like that. Looking back to see how this is looking, very cool. All right. I like this little background area. I don't feel like I need to do too much more. Just adding some minor colors, you know, nothing too, nothing too intense. So let's see, where do we go from here? Let's add some of this color into her shirt here. So we're gonna go bring this. So mix of these greens and reds in here signify it's a person. Very much like the vibrant colors, Gauguin, for example. I typically like outlines, but I also try to do things that focus less on the outlines to define an image. All right. Yeah, speaking of Gauguin, I have his book right here. Gauguin's Intimate Journals. Let's see how Gauguin uses outlines. Maybe I can learn something from him. So lots of outlines here, but this looks like it was an actual drawing and not a painting. Let's see if I can learn something. Steal an idea from Paul Gauguin. Let me see. This is a drawing, not a painting. That's another drawing. There's no paintings in here. What? Come on, no. More drawings. I guess this could be a painting. Either that or it's done with a big brush or a big brush pen. Another drawing. Yeah, I think black and white books aren't that great for art. Thankfully, Kindle is coming up with a color version, which means you could see colored paintings in your art book, which I think I might upgrade to because keeping track of art books is so expensive. Can't see any color here, but can definitely see outlines. So maybe if I look at just values, you know, what can I learn? Maybe from the pen work, the movements of the pen. You can learn a lot the way when you look at drawings and you look at an artist's drawings and see the way they move their pen. You can learn a lot from how that manifests into a painting. Ah, this looks like a painting. There we go. All right, well, I've got a couple ideas here now. Yes, the Tahitian work. I think this whole book is based on when he's from Tahiti. So these journals are illuminating self-portrait. They bring out sharply into focus one of the great innovative figures. Witty, wide-ranging, aphoristic. These writings are not only entertaining. But yeah, carefree lives of the natives and the physical charms of Polynesian women, counterbalanced by struggles with poverty. Huh. I don't know if this takes place in Tahiti, actually. Well, I guess it's labeled down here, the private journals, so Digitus, the holy images. No, he doesn't leave a detail of where he was after every chapter, so this one was in August Strindberg. I don't know what that means. Pink Shrimps, Winter of '86. Anyway, not gonna bore everyone with yeah, I know he's not a very likable figure in history as far as art goes, but very you know, interesting work. So
Why did you do that? Look for the litter box right there for you. No.
All right, so here we go. We've gotten the main image, the main major image. So let's start to add some detail here. We're gonna just add these strokes of color here, as taught by the Impressionists. I'm actually using some fairly thick paint here. And let's go with some blue. You can add some blue into here just to add a bit more color variation. Just keep doing the strokes all in one direction. Because if I look closely at a Paul Gauguin painting, one thing that I noticed that Impressionists did very well was they just beautifully added streaks of color. And I still really haven't figured out how to like capture these like the streakiness of color that they do. But I think at some level, maybe I have to add some more variety of color. Let me see how I'm sure if I just went to a course on painting like a Gauguin, I could probably figure it out. But let's try to do some upward strokes this way. Yeah, that adds a little color variety there. I like that. All right. And then let's go a little bit lighter. And you know what? Here, we're going to go up as well. We're just going to go paint upwards. And maybe what it is I got to switch colors up a bit. So go with some yellows and then go with some greens to add this color variety. And at this point, it's less about trying to get paint onto the canvas and more about just simply adding these streaks of color onto these walls. Does it really add that much beautiful detail? I don't know, but let's just go streaky, streak, streak, streak. Amazing to think of the lengths. Taz bien sentado. Taz bien sentado. Hello, welcome. For anybody here who's just tuning in, feel free to share your feel free to share your Instagram, your TikTok, or whatever. If you want us to look at your art, talk about it, whatever. We're not here to brutal critique unless you want it. I know on Reddit, you can do something that's called you can request something called a brutal critique, where someone will literally go ham on your painting and point out everything that's will brutally critique your work. But of course, that's something you have to request. You don't just do that. But at the same time, if you request it, you should definitely be prepared for what you're about to receive. Which, when I first started painting, I would constantly request brutal critiques. I don't so much anymore, and I feel like brutal critiques were fun to get. And that's where I would get the best information of techniques and stuff. But but eventually it just becomes a series of just bored non-artists just looking for something and for something to talk about. And at some point you have to figure out how to filter through that. I'm gonna add hints of purple into here just to spice up this section here. We're going with upward strokes. And I definitely can see how this wall is starting to get some variety of color here. I really like it. I like where this is going. And we're just going to keep going, adding these lines and details. And I might not do this for everything, but it's amazing to think of the length that artists had to go through to get certain colors. Yeah, I know, right? Like the artist had to be in cahoots with the royal family so that the royal family could hire some merchant to go travel across the ocean to the Silk Road to meet up with some merchant in Asia and fight off pirates and rebels and acquire these really expensive materials and then bring it all the way back to the queen to dole out to society. And then the artist had to acquire those materials, and then not only that, but they had to learn how to paint with them without, they didn't have Udemy for online courses. All they had was like, you know, the most successful painter of their town, which, you know, who knows how good they are. But here we go. I'm going to add some darker colors just to add some variety here. And maybe these darker colors will take away, hopefully they don't take away as much as they add. You know what? It's kind of fading, so it's not that bad. These darker colors are not harming what's in here. So just adding some streaks of darker colors here, just streaks to change the color of what's up here. Just to give it a sense of dimension and color. And I really think that all this that we're doing is adding a lot of interest to this. So, so here we go. I think down here is okay. We don't need to add too much color because the color's already shining on this. Let's see, what else? You know what, I'm going to add a little bit of gray into the center here, a little bit of a gray blue. Let's see, light blue, maybe? Light blue might be better. Kat, you okay? How was the visit? How was the visit? To the cat food?
It was quick.
Yeah, it was good. So just add some streaks all the way up, and then not all the way actually, we'll just do a couple along the way, just to add a variety of color. Add some color variety, that's the goal, that's the name of the game. You know, one thing that I can't unsee now, as someone who paints, is anytime I look at something like a surface, whether it be, or even just like a random object or sky, or I just like stare into space, I can't help but like see different colors all of a sudden. Like anytime I see the sky, it's no longer just like blue and white, or like, you know, you sometimes see like a pink sunset or whatever. It's always like there's like so many colors available to the eye that if you just sit and look long enough, you'll see them. But let's see how these colors add or contribute. Yeah, these colors are definitely adding and not taking away. So that's a good thing. Now let's see what we can do about, let's see, what color do I have? I have like a light off blue. And what I want to do is, let's do this on the windows here. Let's add this light blue here onto the windows. And we're going to just add streaks. Let's add streaks up and down. Let's see, up and, or actually angled streaks. So this paint is still wet from yesterday, which means that this paint will interact with the color below it. It will definitely interact with the color below it. And let's bring in some yellow into this. And let's find a way to, you know, allow this yellow to shine through as well. And just knowing that it's a little bit wet and that it's going to interact with your color gives you this opportunity to like allow colors to just mix together. And that is the one thing that's really cool about oil paint. And I've never worked with acrylic, but I feel like if I was working with acrylic, I would totally take for granted how, I don't know if taking for granted is the right term, but I would totally miss how convenient it is to have paint that's still wet 24 hours later. Because I know that if I try to do this technique of like mixing color while it's still fresh on the canvas, you know, I can do that 1 or 2 days later, but I can't, I'm pretty sure, I've never used acrylic, but with acrylic, you can't really do that because acrylic dries so quickly. And this just allows me to let colors blend days later. Now, I will say acrylic is great, I think, for abstract work. There's a lot of abstract pieces that I would love to do, such as like tape art, you know, anytime you're doing something with a hard edge, because then I could just do it all in one sitting instead of having to wait multiple days for the paint to dry. But at the same time, I don't really know what this stuff is in a window. So let me see if I can add some purple into these window objects just to give it some more color variety. I don't like the fact that it's just this brown thing that's sitting in the window. It's like kind of weird. Kind of a weird color to just be sitting in the window. So I want to add some of this, I think it's an alizarin magenta. Quinacridone violet, not alizarin magenta. Do I know / like the work of Tom Thompson? I'm not familiar with the work of Tom Thompson. But since we are here, I'm going to look at this part right here. I'm just going to fill in a couple more spaces right here, and let's go take a look at the work of Tom Thompson. It sounds like you're familiar with it, so if you want to take the floor and tell us about what you think we should look at when we're about to go look at Tom Thompson's work. What you feel we should recognize. I'm going to pull them up right now. Hopefully I can find them. It's not always guaranteed that we can find the artists that we seek. But let's see. Tom Thompson artist. Tom Thompson artist. Oop. Tom Thompson. Oh, he's the first pop-up. Ah. Okay, so I'm guessing that he probably came after the Impressionists. He looks like, I haven't seen his dates of art yet, but probably after 1890 is my guess, or like right at 1880 would be my guess, somewhere around after the 1850s. After the Fauvists, but before, like, you know, the super modern art. Let's see. Let's take a guess here. After the Impressionists, after the Fauvists, but before. Yeah. So 1910, early 1900s, late 1890s, or 1800s. Yeah. Okay. So Canadian landscape, born in Ontario. I mean, it definitely looks like he was inspired by many of the works of, you know, I think this is very Fauvist in nature right here. Yeah, he was amazing at painting nature. Oh, can y'all see that? Late 19th. Very cool. Let's see. I love this piece right here. My goodness. This is just a painting of trees, but it's so different and unique. Very nice. All right, very cool. Very good to hear. And you know what? Definitely something to take inspiration from as much as color variety. I feel like his work, though, if I was to try to like learn from his work, I would have to like start with the idea from the beginning, because he seems to use these very thick, flat shapes. And at this point, I've added so much like color variety in between that I need to almost like feel like I need to commit to this this streaky color concept that I've begun. But let me see how I can brighten up these floors a bit. But yeah, Tom Thompson. I love Fauvism. It's one of my favorite art movements. Let's grab some ochre here. I'm gonna go in a little darker with the ochre. You know what? That's looking too green. I don't really like that green too much. So let's go with some red to neutralize it. We're gonna neutralize it with some red here. Just gonna paint the cross. I guess the green isn't so bad. It kind of gives us like our shadow color. You know, it does add some good color variety. It's not that bad. I just don't want it to be too much green. That it looks like the city streets are like, you know, I don't like this green color. Let's try to balance it out with some yellows. Which, you know, yellow is just a step away from green, but I think it could help. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I was like, yeah. I'm reading your message. You said you didn't mean to say I should try. Yeah. No, I sometimes just say whatever's on my mind. I didn't necessarily think you were trying to get me to do that. You know, you can only imagine if I stream so much, I probably say a lot of things that just like sometimes I might not totally mean. But yeah, I got what you were saying. You wanted to show me a nice artist or whatever. But here we go. So let's see. Maybe I'll go with a little blue in here. Not a little bit. We're gonna go with some blue since we'll be in a little bit of shadow right here. Let me reduce the impact of this yellow or this green. But here we go. So look, is there, do you have an Instagram page you want to share or a Instagram or TikTok page or anything? My channel is totally open to self-promo and whatever people want to discuss. We're gonna add some more of this yellow. Let's grab some more yellow and white. I'm gonna white out this yellow. Do a lighter color into here. And let's go with some more yellow. Right into here. Oh, yellow and red. There we go. Are you making some pomegranates, babe? And here we go. All right, some good green, some good yellow. Let's find something for, almost done with this piece. Let's find something for our space up here. Actually, you know what? Let's go down here And let's see if we can do like a walkway. I feel like there could be a good walkway color. Something that's just a little off red, a little bit darker, on a good purple. I'm just gonna go down, just bring it down. 1, 2, 3. So, Kat, we had a discussion earlier. It was, do you think that artists are more likely to own cats? Which we came to the conclusion, yes. But we didn't actually do any research. We just kind of took a guess. But based on that, do you think so? And if so, why? But we do know, what's his name? Salvador Dali had cats. And we do know that, I think Alexa, did Picasso have a cat?
From Amazon.sg. The artist Pablo Picasso's cat Minou influences him to discontinue his blue period style of painting to begin creating works that will sell more quickly, in a story that includes brief notes on Picasso's life and work.
So Picasso did have a cat, and it pulled him out of his blue phase, which means that it basically pulled him out of like his most, down, when he, like one of his darkest periods of life. But anyway, you've only recently begun painting. You've never posted anything. Maybe soon. Where's the artist? Okay, yeah. Hey, no worries. If you don't feel like sharing it, that's cool too. But let's go ahead and let's add some yellows into these reds. We're gonna dull this yellow just a bit. Let's see if we can add some other streaks here. I like adding streaks. See how this turns out here. What is that color? All right, that's fun. And what else? I do want to add something into these roofs, but I haven't quite decided what. I tried something earlier, but it didn't really work out. Tried something the other day, but maybe I should just leave these roofs like a plain red. It gives it like a nice flat look. Flat look's not bad. And let's see. So that's good. Maybe up in here, let's go some streaks of white and yellow. Let's do streaks of white and yellow up in here. And let's go with a little bit of blue just to add some variety up here. Let's see. See how this turns out. Does give it a little bit of an extra dimension, I think. An extra dimension of color. All the way up to the wall. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, I will say a lot of like these paint over pieces are just experimentation, just me constantly testing new color combinations, ideas. And although I feel like I am coming to a personally distinct style, I haven't figured out a way to make it like a measurable thing. Like, you know how some people have like a recipe? I think some artists have a recipe of doing things, the way they do it. And although if I feel like if I broke this down, I could figure it out. But at the same time, I haven't taken the time to break it down. So constant and never-ending experimentation. And I will say, you know, my painting style is not the cleanest painting style. You don't find perfectly straight lines or anything like that. But I do aim to make it interesting and visually stimulating. That's part of my goal. Visual stimulation. Isn't that what all art is anyway? Just visual stimulation? At the end of the day. So, Marianne Sorensen, hello. Hello again. And you know what? Let's just do some of this yellow. Let's extend out some of this yellow color a bit. And I think we're going to be done with this piece. We're not going to spend too much more time on this. I just want to extend this like light area out just a bit more, just to make it look like this light is having an impact on the space around it, but not trying to like I don't want to make this light too distinct, too reflective. Add a little bit of the yellow highlight just around it. Let's actually bring this in. And let's see how this light works together. Let's go outwards from this. You know, deep down I realize that whenever you look at a light, it definitely, anytime you turn on a light, it affects the space around it, no doubt. But as far as painting in this way goes, you know, I think I have to find a good balance between trying to capture it as I feel like I saw it versus giving it a little bit of pop, but not necessarily total full-on precision. We're giving it that color and that contrast. Give it some blue. Let's give this one some blue too. Like up here, whatever this light affected. And yeah, that's good. I like this. I like where this has gone. The blue adds a little bit. The yellow's right there. Yellow's strongest right there. Add some blue. And let's add a few more of these Christmas lights here. So we're gonna add just like little pops of white and yellow. So white or blue. It's like a blue, 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 white. And now let's go ahead and pop in some green. Some bright green color here. I guess green yellow, we should say. thick little pieces of green or yellow. Oh, it's not as... Let's go with yellow. Yellow is a better color for these lights, at least. There we go. Pops of light. There's plenty of pops of light right there, so I don't need to add too much. I don't want to overdo it. And there we have it. Okay. Got the jingle bells on the head right there. Oh yeah, I need to touch up these little pieces right here. So let's see what we can do about those. It's a really long paintbrush. Thank you. These are Utrecht. I just got this today, actually. So, you know, I'm glad you did mention that it's a really long paintbrush because I'm using it so close to the hilt. Or I guess this is the hilt, right? I'm using it so close. I probably could, you know, for a paintbrush this long, I might as well use it from the end, right? But I guess good reminder every once in a while, someone makes a comment about your materials, and it's like, oh, what am I doing? But yes, I actually bought this today, Utrecht. This is a brand from Brooklyn, I think. Utrecht is based in Brooklyn, and they do this with a, they're partnered with a company called like Blick, I guess. Blick Art Materials. They're popular art supply store in Los Angeles. But they're constantly promoting this Utrecht materials. By the way, I realize your intention wasn't to talk about how closely I'm holding it to the tip. But I do like to build some habits. And one of my habits is that I sometimes hold the brush too close. Which there's nothing wrong with that if you're getting really tight in detail. But I feel like for the work that I do, it helps to have it a little bit further away. Not only just to see what you're doing, but to also be able to just give it a little bit more of like a free feel. Oh, you know what? I want to do these roofs. No, I'm going to leave the roofs pretty flat. Yeah, I think we're done with this piece. I'm going to call this piece done. Maybe I'll go back to it in like a year or like 8 months, depending on if it's able to sell or not. But for now, we're going to call this piece finished. Unless, let me see, there's a couple areas. Should I get rid of these paint boogers? Or should I leave them as remnants of the work? Okay. Let's see, I'll have to paint over that space. I really like this one. These are easy fixes. Just paint over the space. Some of it is okay to leave a little bit of an edge, but some of these are clearly remnants. The tree texture is okay. I don't like this little piece right here. Oops. All right, so let's see. Let me paint over that little spot right there. Let's pick a little light green. Just go over that right there. By the way, this isn't, you shouldn't, the rule of thumb is don't do what I just did. Don't scrape off the paint booger and paint over it. Rule of thumb, right? So don't do as I did. This is not a tutorial. It's more so the rule of thumb is to not have it in the first place, right? To constantly use fresh paint and, you know, a fresh paintbrush and not have to worry about paint boogers in the first place. But that's the general rule. But if you must pull off a paint booger, then you just have to do it. So anyway, we're done with this. Maybe add a couple stripes actually. I usually say I'm done and I find a couple more things to work on. And these aren't windows, these were like signs. So I find it funny to like have to, let's add stripes. When in doubt, add stripes. But, oh yeah, so that's nice. AA, quadruple A. Says that's a really long paintbrush, only affects the painting. Tried texture painting, you think it's pretty fun. It's so cool. Yeah, texture painting, most of my paintings have a texture to it. Not all of them. Like even this has a bit of a texture, but not quite. I think what you're saying is like a totally textured painting where you can totally feel all the different textures in every part of it. But I do tend to use impasto, which is really thick paints. Like, you know, these roofs are very thick. You can see that there's a layer on top of it. Let me go with some yellows here. Let's go with some yellows. We're gonna go up and up. 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 By the way, quadruple A, if you want to share your channel, feel free to share it. If you want to share your channel, if you want to talk about, if you want the world to see what you're up to, feel free to share. This is an open room where anyone can share the work that they do. I know some channels don't like to have other channels promoted on their page, but my channel is one that's open for now. Until something changes, which, you know, maybe it will, maybe it won't, I don't know. But I would not be upset for anyone who wishes to have their work looked at or discussed. Now, that might not mean that no one else will, but let's chat about it. All right, cool. Well, we're going to leave this as this. Clean off this brush. Let's see, what do I want to do next? So I have this painting up here that I actually did a long time ago, and there's something that's always bothered me about this painting is some of the leaves. And I'm gonna see if I can figure out a way to overcome my distaste of some of the petals of this flower. So let me find a good place to set this all down. Let's see, put this right here. Let's sit there for a moment. And let's pop this off right here. We'll put this in a place where it could dry. go. Bring this up. I have quarters in my car. At least like 8. So let's see. Rinse. Let's see. You're not sure how holding the brush affects the painting. I think holding the brush affects the painting only as far as the artist is concerned, right? Like, I know that, well, Omizu Paints, Corey, Omizu Paints, who's also in here or was in here, he says that amateurs tend to hold the brush closer to, you know, the hilt. And, you know, I would agree to that because, you know, I think it helps when you could see what you're working. And of course, there's caveats. You know, it all depends on what you're doing. But I felt like for what I was doing, holding it further away is absolutely helpful. I don't know. And then textured painting. Your art won't interest you. You don't have anything to share. Because it's so striking, it's still somehow quite muted. You like the vase texture. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Textured. Interesting. The only thing I really want to fix here is some of the leaves on here. I really don't like how some of the leaves turned out, and I don't really know how to like fix it. Oh yeah, you can't really see because, let's see, let me aim this up. And then let's see if I can rotate it a little so you can see it better. Kat, you okay? You said, oh my God, look at this. What's going on? Oh, okay. I thought you were shocked about something.
No, it's just Simba in the world of the living. So wrapped up in this. Oh, yes.
I don't know. I don't know if it's possible to like work on a piece like this without having to redo the whole darn thing. All right, well, better time than any to give it a shot. Let's try with, I don't even remember what brush I used on this, so we're just gonna have to take a guess here and just mess around until we get something. And honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna get the colors right again. So much to think about. I've actually so much to think about, or maybe I should just start a totally new painting on this thing. I don't know. Like you're in a totally different mindset than when you first started. It could be really difficult to pop back into it. So let's see, what can I do to fix these leaves? I guess the first step is to plan it. So let me get another smaller brush that I can use to plan a little bit better. For step number 1, plan your painting. Find a good planning brush. This will probably turn out to be a good brush for planning. What are these brushes? You like it as it is? Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right, well, let's test out our brush cleaner, everybody. So I use this to clean brushes. It's called the Masters Brush Cleaner. The Masters, as if the Masters use it, the Masters of Art. And let's see how far it could take us. So right now, as you see this brush, I'm pushing on it. It's not really going very far. As I push on it forward, you can tell a lot of the bristles are still stuck. So I'm going to test out this brush cleaner on this brush. By the way, this is a pretty expensive brush. This is a high quality brush. This brush is from Rosemary Co, which is a very well-known British company. And as you can see, if you can see closely, a lot of paint has gotten stuck on it. And all you need to do, I have a water bottle nearby. I'm not going to display the water bottle. You're just going to have to trust that I'm using a water bottle. But basically what I do is I dip it in water. I think it's best done over a sink. And then you just dip it around in the soap. And let's just see how much improvement we have on this brush once we've gotten into it. Now, I will say that there are different types of brushes. This happens to be a, I think it's called Ivory. And I think Ivory is their synthetic brand. Or like some form of hog hair, like a really rough hair. So I can be a little rougher with these brushes because the bristles are much thicker. Whereas I think if this was like a badger hair is a very it's dense, but it's also very soft. It's a very soft bristle, which, you know, different brushes, different purposes, different bristles. But I wouldn't be doing this because I would totally ruin the brush. Unfortunately, I think if this was just a regular natural hair brush, I wouldn't be able to do this type of scrubbing. Otherwise, I would totally ruin the brush. But because it's a much denser brush, I have the opportunity to do so without ruining the brush completely. But you know what? Every brush has a purpose. Even a ruined brush could have uses. So here we go. Got round 2. Honestly, I don't think it's done that much. I could see some of the paint coming off after round 1. So maybe it takes a couple of rounds. And again, this is done way better if you're doing it over a sink. Right, if you're at a sink, it's the best place to clean your brushes, not, you know, above your dining room table. But, you know, for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to bring this all the way over to my industrial sink that I can use. But let's see, where does this go? We're just going to dip it in our water one last time. I think all this is like a special type of soap. I wouldn't be surprised if all it was like some sort of like bar soap turned into like this big paste thing. Let's actually put this down for a second. Let's see how well that cleans up. So you like the texture. It's so good as it is. You like the texture. Let's see how it's working. So I got to go into here. You got to really dig into the bristles sometimes. And honestly, I don't feel like it's coming apart, but you know, maybe you just got to dig into it more. I don't know if I'm going to be able to repair this brush without, you know, having to dig into some of the bristles here. But we'll see. Give it another second or two. Dip some water. It's gotten a little better, I think. I mean, I have to work it. It's not just a rub it in there into the soap and suddenly it works. It's definitely got to get some manual labor in there, get your fingers into it. And I wouldn't do this if this was like a super cheap brush. I don't think I would spend the time to do this, but because this brush was a little bit more expensive, you know, first of all, I should have taken better care of it. But second, I think it's not quite past its lifetime yet, because I've had other brushes with this quality, with this type of, I think, these synthetic materials. And usually they come back to life. You just got to keep working at it. Keep working at it, getting in between the bristles. And again, if this was a more delicate brush, I'd probably be ruining the brushes. But by getting this rough into them, but because this is a synthetic fiber, I think they're a little bit heavier duty. Let's get another go around with these. All right, did it do anything? Yeah, a little bit. You could see some of the brushes have come apart. You know, I had to work into it. But I think it's done something. It's done some improvements. There's still quite a lot of... I still have to get a brush. Oh, thank you, Plant Inventions. So I still have to get a brush comb. Someone told me about a brush comb. Omizu Paints has told me about a brush comb. And I think a brush comb would actually help this. Help just separate some of these. But I think in general, we're a little bit better than we were before. As you can tell, when I push it forward, the bristles separate a little better. So we're doing better than we were before, which is a good thing. And we're just going to go ahead and use this brush as is. Close up your materials. Don't drink the water that you use. So I keep my cleaning water over to the side so I don't have to go to a sink. This is not the ideal situation. Definitely don't drink this. And that was just a quick little demo of the Master's brush cleaner. It helped. It helps to just have this jar nearby. And I think the best is when, you know, you're just using this to do daily cleaning. But if you need like deep cleaning, it can help. But, you know, sometimes you just have to do general maintenance of your brushes just in general. And if you don't, you know, you can't blame the cleaning supplies. But I think that the quality of this brush was enough that, you know, not only did it maintain its shape, like look at this brush. I was so rough with it, cleaning it through the soap. And although there's still some particles inside, which I may or may not be able to get rid of later, it still maintains its shape. Look at that. It still maintains its shape. I think that stands for the quality of Rosemary Co brushes. So Rosemary Co brush, highly recommend. But this is the Ivory brand. Let me show you these two brands, two types of brushes here. So these are both from Rosemary Co. This is the, I don't know the name of this. I just know that this is the badger hair. So if you look at the badger hair, if anyone's curious about different brush types, I believe this is their synthetic hair, different color, and then this is their natural badger hair. And although this is springy right now, usually it's not so springy. Let me get a better example. Let me get a better example of this brush. So if you look at these three brushes, these two are the same, except this one's, you know, they've added more. It's a little bit springy because I've been putting a lot of use into this. But if you look at it in its natural state, it's hard to show, but it's much softer. It's very dense, but it's very soft. The hairs are very fine, very thin. Rosemary Co. So this is very good if you need to like spread paint across a surface without scraping away the bottom layer. And where that comes in handy, let's just say like this is fresh paint and I want to paint over it without like getting rid of the color, this would be the right brush to use. But if I don't really care and I'm just painting very roughly, which is how I usually paint, you might want to go with a synthetic fiber like this. And as you could tell, hopefully you could see on camera. It might be difficult to see on camera, but these hairs are very, very, very thin. And these fibers, I would call them fibers because they're not really hairs, are a little bit thicker, a little bit denser, just by a little bit. You could just barely tell. And I think it's good for like rougher painting styles, which, you know, if you use like thick layers of paint. If you're doing very fine painting, very fine like blending of colors and just constantly, you know, doing a lot of brush work, then you probably want badger hair. But if you want to like use really thick layers and impasto and you want to be comfortable being rough with your brush and everything, synthetic fibers. I love synthetic fibers. I use a lot of synthetic fibers. So another synthetic fiber that I really like before I get back into painting again is these Princeton poly-tip bristles. So these you can get at Michael's. Like you can shop anywhere for these. These you can these you get online at Rosemary Co. I think they're a British company, so you have to get them shipped in from the UK. And But this is a great synthetic brush. These tend to last a longer time, and you could be pretty rough with them, and it tends to keep their shape pretty well. Which reminds me, I should probably clean off this paint before. I thought I cleaned it. My goodness. Just when you think you clean something, you find out that there's just paint stuck in between, which is really annoying. I have to clean my brushes more often. Reminder to self. That's my New Year's goals. Clean my brushes more often. I did not expect to find that much paint inside, internally in that brush. I just gotta realize that, you know, the way I clean my brushes might just be insufficient. And if I finally figure out a way to clean it better, I will eventually have longer lasting brushes. But fortunately, these brushes work with my painting style. Like, I paint a lot and I paint very roughly. And if I just squeeze this out, hopefully the paint comes out. But I have a really hard time keeping my brushes like nice and clean. All these supplies, I wipe it down, but at the same time, somehow paint still gets into it. I don't know. Anyway. That's why you got to find the right brushes for you, your painting style, all that. But fortunately, I paint enough that, like, you know, I keep them in rotation so the paint's constantly coming off and stuff, which means a fresh layer of paint. But enough talking, let's get to some painting here. I'm still kind of nervous about working on this because I don't want to totally change it, and honestly, matching the colors is going to be very difficult. So I don't know how I'm going to adjust these flower petals. This petal is just a little too big for me. It's a little too big. So let's see. What brush was I planning to use here? But that's part of the reason why I'm talking so much. I'm trying to avoid actually doing the work on this because it's good the way it is, but this section that I feel the need to work on has always bothered me. And until it stops bothering me, I'm not going to be able to move on. Unless someone just, you know, who loves it so much just buys it, even with what I feel is the imperfection. But it is not sold. It's sitting in my apartment. And honestly, I will say, I don't, as far as this piece is concerned, I would not feel confident putting this in a show. Let me rephrase that. I would be fine if someone really wanted to put it in a show. I would do it, but you know, it wouldn't be one of my first submissions. So until I can overcome that feeling, which is going to come from me just doing the work of painting it to the specifications that I want, until I do that, I'm not going to be content. So I must do what my mind wants me to do. I'm trying to find the right brush to figure out the appropriate brush for this, because if I do the wrong brush, it's gonna make these hairs look weird. But maybe, let's see, maybe I'm overthinking this. What about this one? This one might be good. Can I get that shape? Yeah, I could probably get that shape. All right, so let's plan this out. How are we going to cover that up? We need to add color. Let's just see. Let's see what happens if we add. Might have to cover it with like a purple. Oh my gosh! I'm just in my head. I'm knowing that it's going to be impossible to just cover this part without having to change the whole thing, because I think it's going to be pretty much impossible to match this exact color in the background. Just have this top part looking a little funky. I don't know. How about it? Let's just get started here. We'll see. Let's call this an experimental piece. You know, this is one piece that I like, but I wouldn't be totally upset if I had to like redo the whole thing and just like paint over it. Oh, there we go. I actually like this one streak right there. I mean, it stands out, but it's not bad. I mean, we could totally just add these fine streaks all over again, right? We totally do that. Because when I originally painted this, the paint was wet. And because of that, see, maybe all I need to do is just re-add in all of these beautiful little colors and streaks. And let's figure out if it's possible to like cover up this area. This is experimental. Again, I would not mind if I had to just paint over this whole thing and then never have this painting. But as far as learning how to repair a painting that I don't like, I feel like this lesson is more important for myself. And this one, let's see how I want to curve this out. This part has always bothered me. These two arms, that's the importance of good planning, is knowing ahead of time exactly what you're going for. So I don't know what to do. So we're just messing around here. A little bit of a mess up, who knows. Let's see, how does that gonna work? Let's add some reds. This needs to be a red. And then we're gonna go down into here. Down here, down here. Let's just start building this painting up again, building it from scratch. Almost scratch, not totally scratch, but we'll be adding in our green right here. Boom. There we go. See, the color is going to be more vibrant now that we're going into it again, because this extra layer of paint is going to help a lot. Basically trying to follow the pattern. Let's grab some of our yellow. Let's see how we can build into here. And not so much a tutorial I'm going for. If anything, this is just me going through the thought process of how to repair a painting. Should I just paint over this entire spot and hope that I can rematch the color? Or is it possible to just use this to paint over some of the marks that I made? I don't know. Usually when I make a mistake like this, I paint over it the day, like on the day. So I haven't had an issue that's like this much before. So I find this as an interesting learning experience of how I'm going to cover it up. Or not just cover it up, but to paint over it. But luckily, I'm not too precious with my paintings. And by precious, I mean like, you know, finding every painting so dear to myself that I can't possibly mess it up or something. So it all depends. But I think that it's going to come out better. Just adding these new colors is already adding an extra bit of pop, I think. Because before, when you paint on top of wet paint, so I did this on top of wet paint before when I painted this, a lot of the colors got kind of, not kind of, but like they were definitely faded because that's what happens when you paint on top of a wet painting, is the colors fade. So now I have the opportunity to add these new colors that I guess add to the lusterness, the luster. And maybe I don't need to copy every little section. Maybe I just need to add a few areas that make it enough of a pop. So here we go. Let's see how that section's looking. Might have to bring in some of this. Maybe I'll like bring it in so that it kind of makes it look like it's supposed to be like that. Oh, there we go. That's kind of cool. It gives it a little bit of action behind it, behind the sunflower. Because like what I'm seeing right here is that it looks like it's coming out of the sunflower. So maybe all I need to do is make it seem as if these are totally on purpose in front of the sunflower. Let's see. How can we do that? How can we do more of that? I do feel like it's giving it more of like a movement, that these flowers actually have some movement with this. So let's bring this a nice deep red and just carve that right into here. And then carve a nice deep red right into here to contrast with the green. And ultimately what I'm thinking through, I'm just sharing through my repair process. Oh, remember this cleaner seems like it'll last for a long time. Yeah, oh yeah. So I didn't see you write that, quadruple A, but this is actually my second one. So this is a big version. Yes, by the way, quadruple A, I'm glad you said that. I was going to say I recognize your name. But I can't remember exactly what. But yes, so two versions. This is a small version. This is a 2.5 ounce. And this is a big version. This is 24 ounce. So 10 times the amount almost. 2.5 ounce, 24 ounce. You get almost 10 times as much. I went through this pretty quickly, so I felt like I needed to get a bigger one. There's the size difference. You tell, absolute massive size difference. And this is only a little bit more expensive, not that much. So totally worth it to get the bigger one if you're going to do lots of painting. I've already used up like a quarter of this container, so there is that. Good to consider how much painting you do with your art supplies. If you don't paint that much, the other one is, I feel, is sufficient. But if you plan to paint, you know, multiple times a week, it's probably good to get the bigger size. But here we go. Let's cover up some of these petals. Make it look like these petals are emanating these fibers here. And that's how we're going to cover up our pieces. Here, this is a good one. Good spot right there. Bam. Yes, I'm liking it. These colors are actually working pretty well. Because it's, in my opinion, I don't know what anyone else thinks, but the way I see it, they're actually working pretty well. Because they're more vibrant and they give like these little extra bits of pop. Although I'm not too convinced that this section right here is going to benefit. So we'll see. Let's keep going. Let's keep going here. We're going to thin out this flower here. I'm going to focus on these top flowers. And if something comes of it, then good. But if not, that's okay too. Let's add in, talking through my repair process here. Let's add it into some other spots to make it look like it's on purpose. To make it look like these repairs are on purpose. And here we go. Will it make it look better? I don't know. Yes, maybe. I think it will make it look better. If you believe it to be so, then it will be so. What's up, kitty? What, Pookie? What's on your head? Hey, stop moving. What's on your head? Hey, cat. Can you come look at Pookie and look at the top right of her head? Above her eyebrow, above her right eyebrow. She's over here. You're gonna have to go around that way. Yeah, above the right eyebrow. Her right eyebrow. Because it looks like there's a little bald spot there. Does it look like a bug bite or something?
No. It's a little, the hair's a little thinner. It's the same way on the other one too. She's fine.
And maybe, boom. Boom, boom. We're going to add some energy into this. Energy, people. So my acting teacher, he always said, energy, energy, energy. So maybe let's see what happens when we start to just add some more energy. Let's just add energy. Let's just totally paint over this with energy. Use energy to paint over this and just see what happens. So what if the main subject of this matter gets covered? Let's just have some fun, right? Let's just paint. What started as a cover-up is now turning into a whole different painting. So we got to add the energy into here. And let's see how this turns out. I don't know. Maybe it'll be totally messed up and unrecoverable, and I just have to totally paint over it another day. Maybe these extra pops of color are going to give it a nice spin. Who knows? I don't know yet, but I will say that these colors are really popping out. I like it. And you know what? Maybe we'll do some yellow right there. Get some expressive lines. Let's go. Boom. Some more expressive lines here. Let's get some more expressive lines. More expressive lines. There we go. And we're going to go. Expressive lines. Let's see how this comes out. What's the worst that can happen, right? Use some of these to create some bright bright spots along the stem. Some bright spots along our stem here. There we go. Maybe throw in some blue. Pookie, you can't be here. Go. Go, Pookie, go. What's up, Pookie? Why are you making noises? And then let's go with a yellow ochre here. We're going to go with our ochre. We're just going to dig into here. Let's add some more spots of color. Make it more vibrant into here. I see where this is going. It's actually coming along pretty nicely. And let's go with some reds. I'm going to bring some reds into here. And reds into here. Reds into here. Just a visually distracting image. Why not add some of these colors into our green? Add some reds into our green here. Excuse me. Grab some of this purple. And rather than keeping this flat, let's see what we can do about this face here. Let's go right here. Just use a nice thick piece of paint right here. Maybe we'll do a whole entire paint over of this. Maybe this last piece looks better. I don't know. But we don't know unless we try, right? Let's go with this purple. We're just going to come down because it's nice and dark. Nice dark purple. We're going to come down right here. Or deep purple right here. And let's see how we can make this pop. definitely need to add in these reds. I'm gonna do a muted red, as someone said earlier, they like the mutedness. So let's just go across and let's just go around and just add these muted reds here. Or muted purple, it's more like a pure purple actually. Cookie, stop! Sometimes you gotta keep your cats out of your paints. Get out of here. Move. Stay away. Go. Ah, stop. Go away. Cookie. What do I have to do? You want me to pick you up and put you down, do you? There you go. Go away. Alright, good. So we're gonna aim for the same feel. Let's see what else we could do. Let's go bring in some white into this, create a lighter version of it. And we're just gonna go around just to add some color differentiation across. And you know what? I don't know if it's gonna look better, but it's gonna be different. It's gonna be transformed enough that I don't know if I'm enjoying this color combo so far, but you know, we're just gonna keep going and just see what comes of it. No pressures, no self pressure, whether I'm experimenting or not. Add some whites. And we'll add some reds on the other side. Let's see. I think this is one of those moments where you don't know if it's going to turn out great, so you just got to commit to the bit. You know, you just got to commit to the act of whatever you're doing and see what happens. So I'm just going by intuition here. I'm not like, at this point, I'm hoping for the best. I guess I shouldn't say that. Hey, look, there's a spider here. Anyone else see that spider? Come here, little guy. Where are you going? Where'd that spider go? I think that's what our kitten was hunting, was the spiders, trying to protect me from the spiders. What a good cat, right? Good girl. Good girl. By the way, I'm not an arachnophobe. I actually like spiders. But a cat must do what its hunter instincts must do. Alright, whatever. Let's go into here. Let's go around and pick some of these flowers and just go into here, give some red right there, some red right there. Boom. Boom. Grab some more of this red. I think red's a good color to go right there, right there, right there, right there. And let's grab this blue. We're going to make it like a purple here. Let's see, what do we do about this? I mean, it's definitely more vibrant. There's a feeling, there's a flavor. And I can't say if I feel as if it is an improvement on the previous version or whether it just feels like an obvious cover-up. It is fun though. I like it. It's fun. It's in its own way. Let's grab some of this color. Let's go boom, 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 boom. Bring some of that down, down, down. Let's add a couple of dark shades just so we can give something for the bright colors to pop. Because if there's no contrast, you can't really tell the darker colors. There's no contrast, it's hard to see all the variety possible, I think. So here we go. Or what if I just did something goofy like painted black squares on the areas that I didn't like and just called them the cover-ups? That would be very artistic, right? Let's see. Should I do that? I don't know. I kind of like it where it's at right now. It looks good. It looks interesting. Has a lot of energy, which I think is, which I think captures. Has a lot of energy. It's like way too. I think now it's like way too visually popping out. Let's see. It's another good color. Let's grab our gray blue here. Grab some more white into this. And then grab our ultramarine blue. Let's try to find a good middle color here. Let's go. See what happens. We would call this the messed up flower vase. There was this really inspiring movie called The Whale. I don't know if anyone's seen the movie The Whale, but in that movie, Brendan Fraser's character constantly talks about this idea about being real and, you know, really giving a part of yourself and your feelings into writing. And although, you know, I like the idea of painting, having this pretty picture, I also like the idea of the fact that, you know, at some level I messed up. At some point I messed up, and you know, I think this captures, as an artistically speaking, creatively speaking, not so much like, um, not so much like technically speaking, but you know, I think there is a sense of frustration now, you know, as far as this art piece is concerned, of like, all right, it was good, but it wasn't where I wanted it. And what do we do from here? What do you do in a situation like this? What can you do? Do you just paint over it, I guess, right? You just paint over it. And what if nothing comes of it? I don't know. Is there a sense of frustration in this paint now, or is it just creative exploration? Who knows? Who knows what my subconscious is trying to calculate now? But at some level, I do find this interesting in its own unusual way. Let's see, what is real? What is a true creative expression of something? Is it, you know, getting really annoyed and frustrated and expressing that, or is it a finely tuned painting? And how do I make it look even here? Gotta make it look evened. Gotta spread the evenness of this expression. Hmm. Let's go with some of this burnt umber here. We're gonna add some darker shades right around here. Right here. Right here. No, I'm trying to find the right spot to do it. Boom, boom, boom. And maybe some ochre. I think ochre would be a good color to balance this all out. Let's see what happens. Bring in some ochre. Oh yeah, the ochre needs to pop right there. Add some movement. Excuse me. Let's see, what's something I could do that would give it a more distinct look. Let me give these flowers some roundness, some curve, and we're gonna give these edges like a flow to it. And we need to do something here. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. And let's go into this now. Just add little specks of color inside. Boom, 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 boom. Where I already had them. And I was already trying to express this color variation internally within the flower. Boom, boom, boom. Just adding these, re-adding in these expressions. And it's just buzzing with energy now. The only thing, just sharing what's on my mind here, is this little section right here stands out to me. As in, this is the only part that doesn't feel random or as random. And I feel like this is distracting, and I need to somehow balance out this section to like make it not look so distinct. So I'm trying to find a way to do that. Maybe add a couple more bounces here, another bounce here. Now let's add some white to highlight these other sections here so that we can possibly let's frame this with a white square. How about that? Let's do something funky. Let's frame this with a white square and give it like, an expressionist feel. By just adding these like elements that you're kind of confused about. Like, what the heck is the point of the square? You totally messed up the painting. And then, let's see. How can we give this expressive quality? There we go. Add in the line right there.
Okay, I'm going to chiropractor.
You going to chiropractor right now, babe? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we can eat when I get back.
Huh?
We can eat when I get back, just the leftovers.
All right. Sounds good.
Hi, kitten. You hungry?
You know what? Do I have any more blue? I don't have any more blue. Ah! No more blue. Time to add some more blue. Let's grab this ultramarine. And here we go. By the way, anybody who's watching, feel free to share your profile, your @ for discussion. I guess my live stream must have reset a few moments ago because I'm back at 7-minute live stream. But I want to grab this blue right now. And I want to use this blue to highlight a couple sections. So here we go. This is pretty much a new painting. Let's add squares around add circles. Let's add triangles. Actually, don't add squares. Squares are lame. So add this square. And we're going to add a triangle here. Let's see how we can top this. All this just to fix a little flower, right? What happened here? What can we do about this section? We can give it a little angular feel right here. All right, and if you're watching now, who wants words? Who wants a name on this? I'm going to put words here. So if you're watching right now, now's your chance to get a name written here in secret. I'm just going to start adding words because people in the art world love words. So if you want a first name or a random word on here, feel free to share right now. We're going to start putting in words. If nobody feels like they want to have a word on this painting, I will go ahead and make up words. But as we go, I'm definitely going to put in people's words or names as a representative to capture this specific moment in time. So I'm going to grab a different brush now in a moment here, in just a few moments. I'm going to grab a different brush, and we're going to put in some random words just to get a feel for what's... We're going to pull a Keith Haring, a Cy Twombly, a Jean-Michel Basquiat, and put words into our painting here. But I just got to find the right brush to do that with. Let's see. These three brushes are okay. I don't want to use these for words. What's a good paintbrush for words? Here we go. I'm going to use this brush I got the other day. And let's go with a... Let's start with some simple designs. Actually, let's start with some simple designs here. X, 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 X. X, X, X. Get some words and letters. I'm gonna throw in an infinity symbol. Is it an 8 or an infinity symbol? Go with a bigger X here. So why not? People love to see things crossed out because it makes them think, I think. And what's something poetic we can write? Something poetic. Maybe not poetic. I don't know. Let's just put down the first name that comes to my mind. Marcus Aurelius. I just saw the movie. I just saw that movie, Gladiator 2. Absolutely amazing movie. I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but and again, if you want your name on this painting, feel free to share whatever that name is or that word. You can contribute a word to this painting, but feel free to type it into the box below, and we will include it. Now, I'm not signing your name, of course, but you will contribute an idea to this painting by simply typing it. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. I love this book, by the way, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. So we're going to pay homage to that. I-T-A... Let's see how this goes. We're going to go with the white here. Let's go around. Let's give a little bit more shape back to our flower here. Let's go. End of the .com era. No, let's do something about AI. AI. Super. Super artist. And what we need also, we need a part of this that is like totally covered up, I feel. Go some strokes. Let's leave some of these strokes right down here. What can I use for a brush to spread paint in a very wispy way? I think this will be a good brush. So I love opportunities to use the color black. Got my Prussian blue. Got an ivory black right here. Okay, let's use some black here. And let's see here. Grab some of this color. Let's come up with something to write down here. Limiting beliefs or self-imposed prisons. I like the idea of that. Limiting beliefs or self-imposed prisons. Work on self. Maybe just the words is enough. And let's grab some more of these darker colors here. Let's mix them up. Just gonna lay it down nice and thick here. Lay some nice thick dark colors right there. It's making a scraping sound because there's so much paint still left over there. Let's go. Like that, and then let's go fill this white. Let's go fill the area with some white. And let's go down here, grab some more white. Let's see. Got some black in here still. I'm gonna go. I don't want to use any more of this black. This paint. As we go down the sides, we can use this down the sides a little bit. Paint down the sides. And here we go. Let's see, let's do my typical trick of flipping a painting sideways if I need to get a change of perspective. If I want to change a perspective, my go-to is just turning a painting sideways. Let's see how we can make this make this a thing. So, oh yeah, we gotta paint the sides. Here we go. Grab some of this. I guess the best thing to do would be go down the other side from here. Let's see if I can. Yeah. Hmm. And let's flip this around again. Actually, you know what? Let's turn it upside down. Let's do one better. Just turn upside down. Here we go. And let's do this here. Boom. Grab some white. Might as well. Do a gray side. And let's see what we should do from this area. Let's clean off this brush first. And here we go. Okay. Maybe we could do something like dandelions here. And make this look like dandelions. And boom, boom. And I think we're done. All right. Oh wait, do we have some more white on this? No, we do not. Let's go, bam, right there. And off this. Let's put that down. And let's hang this up, shall we? Actually, I want to take a photo of it first. Little transformation piece here. And let's see, let's find something else to paint. What shall I do? Maybe hang this up. Let's see. It's still so wet. Yeah. So we're going to paint over this piece. Here's a piece I made a little while ago. It's based on a random suggestion from someone from here, YouTube. And, you know, I was totally open to just, let's see, how do we get this Centered, there we go. Get this just right. And we're gonna move this back a little bit. So we're actually gonna paint over this. This isn't gonna stay like this. We're actually, oh wait, you know what I need to do is I need to raise this because otherwise it's covered. So I guess we do have to kind of keep it like that. Like right there. And I'm painting over this. I'm not gonna keep this figure here. But let's play around with something. Let's see what we can, where we can take this here. Let's go. Start with some white. Start with a triangle here. And by the way, people, again, this is just me painting over something. I don't have anything specific in mind just yet. This is just me messing around. Let's grab a huge chunk of black here. Let's draw something that resembles an eye. And here we go. So taking this color, let's go another off color. what do we have here? I swore I had a huge tube of ultramarine blue somewhere. Is this it right here? French ultramarine? Should probably use a smaller tube. We're gonna go with black. Got plenty of black to use. Plenty of black. Huh. Where are we going with this? We're coming down, coming around. And I don't know what the heck this is, but either way, we will figure it out. Whatever it is, it is. I think tomorrow I need to give my palette a good cleaning. I'm getting so many paint boogers now that I feel like it needs a good cleaning. Here you go. I don't really know what this is. And honestly, what the heck? I need to come back to this another day. All right, let's see. Maybe I'll paint a cat into this. Got a black cat sitting on my table right now. If he could sit still for about 5 minutes, I could probably capture it. Let's see. You're gonna go with the ears right here. Come on, sit still. All right, he already moved, so I've already lost it. Guess I can't paint a cat. A little black cat right now. It's a holiday. It's a special day for black cats. Does anybody agree? Because it is Friday the 13th. So everybody, it is Friday the 13th. If you're not celebrating black cats, what are you doing? There we go. Hopefully he stays here long enough that I can capture the idea of him. Capture the idea of him. Scout, stay still. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Stay still, buddy. Don't move an inch, okay? You're not allowed to move because I'm in the middle of getting a painting of you, a sketch of you, not just a painting. I'm totally losing it as far as how he looks in this because he keeps moving. Oh, look at this huge chunk. Look at this huge chunk of a paint booger. That's horrible to have on your palette, by the way. But it came off. So here we go. We're gonna go. So it looks like his body's pretty much the same. Let's see. Maybe he's a. Paint him as he is right now. There we go. Yeah, this is about right. Fairly accurate. Get his paw right there. His little paw's right here. Let's see if we could do a quick paint of this guy. Quick paint of this guy before he moves again. So a quick paint session. It's the legs up here. I don't really have a lot of paint on this canvas that would capture all the colors, so I'm just gonna have to work with like black and white. Let's go right around here. Let's see if it's possible to paint cat this quickly. He's so cute. Love this guy. All right, so let's go around. His legs have already moved. Grab some of this white, put it at the front of the paw right here. And then the top edge of the body. Let's see how this turns out. I am really curious because a little bit of red in the ear. The cat's got a little bit of red in the ear here. Add a little bit of red. Add some black. Add this black all the way around the bottom here. Really quick paint job. You can see the shape of it. Oh, me too. Man, this is looking so sick. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I'm in auto paint mode right now. You can see I've totally changed my painting in the back. It's no longer a flower painting. It is a paint over a flower painting. But right now I'm just doing a cat. We're doing the little black cat here. Happy Cat Day. Got a little nose right there. Doing a quick paint of a cat. Honestly, this probably isn't the right brush to do it. I hope everyone can at least see the cat, right? I think everyone sees the cat. Oh no, is that black paint? I don't know. I don't even know what color paint this is anymore. If anything, I think you could see the shape of the cat right here. Just a little color version of him. Get his neck down and then his body right here. Paint over this. But I'm glad you like it. Thank you for sharing your ideas, your thoughts. Let's go on the ear right here. A little bit on this ear. Change the color of that. There's a cat here somewhere, right? Yes, there's definitely a cat here somewhere. Because I painted it so. Honestly, I feel like this brush is too new to be painting this like rough way that I'm painting. So I'm gonna stop using this brush. It's too rough, and I'm gonna go find a different brush here. I just got it yesterday and it's already like lost its fine tip, so I gotta find another brush here. Some that I've already used quite a bit that I can just like be really rough with. I think I found it. Okay. How do we make this lightened? A little bit on the nose here. Get a little white on the tip of the nose right there. Lighten that. You know, the thing about black cats is their fur just absolutely shines. There is very little that's black about a black cat, because if you see them in the light, they are just totally colorful. They got all these different colors: purple, white light, white, purple, pink on their ears. They're so colorful. Black cats are incredibly colorful. Just look at them in the light. Such colorful kittens. So we're gonna go like this, and now everybody can see that this is pretty much a cat, right? That is a cat. What's going on over here? Oh yeah, this is a little separation area. And then here we go. Yes, all right. We got some progress moving along. Got something onto this canvas that looks and resembles something. Now it's just a matter of just messing around. I mean, that's what we're doing right now. I don't have like anything specific that I'm working on right now. This is just free painting. Nothing here is meant to be taken too seriously as far as what I'm painting right now. This is not a tutorial. Let's see, what colors do I have here? Okay, I've got some color here, so we could paint this into the eyes. Get some green eyes. Right there, green eye right there. This looks graffiti-esque, but it's not really meant to. What should I do? Whatever to do. So I'm at a point in my painting where I'm like, where in my head I'm like, dude, you're not gonna get anywhere tonight with painting, because I'm just not in a mood to do anything like serious or technical. But I feel like it's at times like these when you can come up with something interesting, if you kind of stick with it. But I really do like how this cat came out. I usually have difficulty painting cats, but even though you can't really see what's going on, I really gotta say that I like how this piece came out, the specific part of the cat. And let's see, maybe if I outline it with white, that's another way I can maybe if I outline it with white. Because the only way you can really see a black cat is when it's in the light and it has these like outlines around it. Well, Omizu, I'm glad you like it. Thank you. It is always great to have somebody who is impressed with your most unusual works. Thank you. You can feel free to brutal critique this, by the way. If anyone has any brutal critique ideas. I don't know if you could really brutal critique this because, you know, it's not really like a piece that's got like technical ramifications that make you go, oh, well, you should have done this, this, and this. It's not really that kind of piece. So, you know, what can you really say about it? I don't know. What can people say about this piece? It's not much to say. So there's a cat right there. Oh my gosh. This cat is so cute. What a beautiful little kitten. So you got the back legs. Got the thing poking through. Well, thanks, Omizu. All right, let's see. I must center myself as I try to figure out what else to do here. Got my white. Let's take some of this yellow that we've got. I'll lay down some color at least. Lay this down right here. I gotta go with a palette knife painting here. Maybe we could go around this kitten with a palette knife. Carve it out. Carve out its shape. Give it like that Halloween color feel. There we go. That's something, right? This is the painting of the black cat. Here we go. Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. Hope you're all having a good one. I believe Friday the 13th is a day of good luck, wonderful adventures. This is my contribution to my Friday the 13th painting. Starting to come along here, this little kitten. Kitten coming along. Michael Wilbur, Rorschach test. Feels like you're weak. What do you mean feels like you're weak? Like this painting makes you feel like you're like the week you've had, or the Rorschach test, or you feel like you've had a Rorschach test all week? You're pulled in all directions. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I got a lot going on too. But I hope there are good things that are happening, good things going on. Let's grab some more of this white. I can't fit this into the, can't fit a brush into this tube. Well, I need to find a brush I can fit in this tube. So I've got I still got a lot of paint left over. I can't fit this brush, so I gotta grab this really thin brush and just try to pull out whatever white I have. And just lay it in here. Let's make this an eye. Life is good. Good to know, Michael. Glad. Thank you. Thank you for sharing some positive news. It is so wonderful to hear positive news from people. All right. What the heck is this? I don't even know what to do with this. Have you ever like drawn something and you really don't know what the heck to do with it? Can I turn this into something? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I have the ability to make something out of this. Something, I don't know. What is this? A two-headed fish? I guess I do have the ability to make something. It's a two-headed fish. Here's its gills. I love adding stripes and lines to things. Turn a painting vertical. Oh, good idea. Let's do it. Let's make this a vertical painting. And see what happens. You know, that gives it a whole different feel, huh? It kind of looks like a monster face. Oh, yeah. What is that? That makes it look totally different. What other things can I add to this that would make it feel different? Maybe I should add this other cat in. She's a partially orange cat. I don't think I have space for her. How can I say I don't have space for her? That's not nice. There's always space for your extra cats. You should always have space to paint your cats. Alright, she's an orange cat, and then we're gonna go up and around, paint over this eye here. Her body's so long though. Body's very long. And hopefully I can capture this before she wakes up. She's sleeping right now, which is perfect. This is gonna come down a little bit. Did I get that right? Yep. Just gonna go around. Grab this black. Go around the face here. It's my Friday the 13th painting. Kind of looks like a Friday the 13th painting. Scary. And let's give her arm right here. We're gonna get her arm right here. And then her cute little face is gonna come, boom, boom, like that. Got a cute little face. And let's see, come around like so. Bring it up. And then it's gonna come around like that, I guess. Body's gonna look extra long, longer than it's supposed to be. But I feel inspired by these kittens. All right, so this is gonna be an ear right here. Hopefully, somehow I'm gonna figure out how to make it work. Actually, it can't be that big. It needs to be like right. It needs to come around her body and come around the front of the head here. Come around the front of the head, and then like that. There's gonna be one ear that sticks out right there, and then one ear that kind of comes right here. And let's get an eyebrow right here, or an eye is right there. Let's hope that. All right, let's figure out how that works out. So she's got a lot of orange on her. So let's start with some of the orange colors here. Start with some of the orange colors. Got it on her tail. Oh, she's waking up. No, stay asleep, kitten. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. She already turned her head. Pookie. Yes, I'm talking to you. Look at me again. Dang it. She already moved her head. Now, the black cat was easy because the black cat, you know, he's just a bunch of like lights. You know that he's black, and then all the lights just basically reflect off of him. And that creates color and dimension. But this cat is colored. She's got all sorts of different colors. And I have to pretty much figure out how those colors mix together. But I don't think I'm going to be able to. She's got these eyebrows that are white. She's got white eyebrows. Let me see. A couple little white eyebrows right there. Pookie, look at me. Look at me. Yes, there you go. Good girl. Put your head down now, please. She's like, shut your mouth, dude. You're waking me up from my sleep. All right, so we're going to put this right here. Put that ear. Ah, there you go. Good girl. There you go. Put your head down. Put your head down. There you go. Got these eyebrows. But calico cat, is that what they're called? I thought they were called tortoiseshells. I thought they were called tortoiseshell cats. Is there a difference between a calico and a tortoiseshell? I don't know. But here we go. She's got all these colors all the way across. She's also got a lot of black too. So I'm trying to pick up my black paint without picking up too many paint boogers, which is turning out to be pretty much impossible, but that's okay. It's okay because we are figuring it out. We are making something work here. We are having a learning experience. I think this one turned out a little better because he sat in his like position for at least a few minutes. But this one, she is not as cooperative. I mean, she's sitting still now, but I've already lost the gesture that she had. And that's one thing about painting quickly versus drawing quickly, is if you could draw quickly, that's good. But what happens when you're painting is that you can only put so much paint, load so much paint onto a brush. And if you don't do it just fast enough, it starts to like lose paint. So you can't work that fast, as fast as you might with like a pen or something, sadly. So you can lose a lot of time trying to sketch something. But anyway, I don't know, I think I got the idea here. It's a very long cat. Look how long she is. My goodness. Cat looks so darn long. All right, let's lay down the white right here. A little white stripe. By the way, who wants their name on this? Michael Wilbur. I'm going to put your name, hide your name somewhere. I know Michael Wilbur does. People will remember Michael Wilbur. Michael. People will wonder. Michael Wilbur. Where Basquiat put names of celebrities and heroes, I'm putting names of random people who watch my live stream. And too bad this probably isn't your real name. Or I don't know if it is. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Michael Wilbur. Cafe Gratitude. All right, let's figure out what to do in this situation. I think we need more additional colors to add to this. I'm gonna pull out my Payne's Gray. I'm gonna pull out a Payne's Gray. It's a very wet gray. Look at, so I bought this brand new, and look how oily it is. It's not supposed to be that oily. This should have never been sold as a full price painting, Michaels. Michaels, I'm calling you out. This should have never been sold as a full price tube. This is definitely an imperfect tube. And as much as I like your stores, you know, you don't really know oil paint very well. I guess who oil paints nowadays? Not really many people. Oil paint, I think, is very, very outdated. Like acrylic, so much more affordable and easy, and it dries fast. Like, there's really no reason to use oil paint. I mean, there's reasons, of course, but Hey. But for sure, Michaels, I have so many things to say about Michaels that are positive. You know, Michaels has some great, if you need stuff right on the spot and some materials right on the spot and you need a place to go and that's around, there's always discounts and stuff. Michaels is a place to go. Totally reliable. But I will say that sometimes there are things that are totally, that should be getting sold as imperfect tubes that are being sold as full price tubes. I think you know, a lot of stores realize that. Like, I know Blick constantly sells tubes that are imperfect, or sells tubes perfectly, and on their website they have imperfect versions. And I know a lot of websites do that. So I don't know what I'm doing with this color right here. This is how I paint when I don't have purpose.
What are you drawing?
I don't know.
That looks scary.
Huh?
That looks scary.
How are you doing?
Good.
This is Scout. Yeah, can you see him?
Oh.
Just a version of him.
Okay. Alright. That's another cat up there? Hello, up on the left?
Yeah, that's Pookie.
Okay. Thought so. Okay, cool. When did you do that?
Just now.
Oh, Jenna? Just now?
Look how cute she is, Pookie. Look how cute she is. She wants to be petted.
Petting her.
Yes, pet her.
When do you want to eat?
I'll be ready to eat whenever.
Okay. I don't care. I'm hungry.
Pretty much ready to eat in a few moments. All right, let's grab a little bit more white. I'm gonna dump down some white. Actually, you know what? Let's go with our cat yellow. Let's go with the black and yellow theme on this.
I want to eat.
And I'm not gonna use too much more paint because I don't know where this painting is going or is gone. But I do feel like there needs to be something that ties this together, and I feel like the color yellow is just right to give it that pop. And then we're gonna go eat. So we got the word Michael Wilbur right here. Michael Wilbur. People are gonna think Michael Wilbur painted this, but he didn't. And I have video evidence of this right now. Let's do another name here. Let's go Corey Polite Water. Or actually, you know what? I'm just gonna write the word polite water, and people will be confused as to what that means. What does he mean by polite water? Polite. Polite water.
Water pressure is so weird. There's none.
Because we all know Omizu means polite water. A-T-E. Polite water.
Hi. Hungry, right? Yes.
Yeah, I guess this painting is a little bit madness, huh? I feel a bit of madness. I definitely feel a sense of madness, not like craziness, but just a feeling of like uncertainty, unsureness of what I should do. And I think that's being captured on his painting, just like an aimless painting of so many ideas, so many hopes and dreams being pulled into one painting. I'm trying to get philosophical here. You know how everyone likes, like, when you write a story about your painting and it's just like, I was so lost, but now I'm found. And through this painting, I was able to reignite my sense of purpose in life. Or whatever. Making that up. But here we go. What else can we do here? Let's go. You know what, Michael? I'm going to have to do something. I'm just going to go highlight this again. Try to add a layer of gray around this to make it pop and stand out around the words Michael Wilbur. Just missing a frame. Let's grab some more yellow. This cat deserves more yellow around her. Who else wants their name on this? Whoever is here that would like their name on this, speak now. And you know what? I will add one more name, Kathleen Roy. I'm going to throw her name on here. Actually, I'm just going to put initials, KR. She's in so many of my paintings. I'm just going to put KR. Just going to add initials. Where's a good place to put the initials of her? KR. There we go. Anybody hear this cat crying? She is so funny. She is the most pitiful meow. So whiny. I would say if I had to add a city to her meow, I'd say she meows like a New Yorker or a Midwesterner actually. Meow. Yeah, I'm sorry for any Midwesterners out here that I shouldn't be. I guess I shouldn't joke about Midwestern voices. Okay. No, but like Midwesterners have an accent. If she had an accent, I would say it's a Midwestern accent. I can't even imitate a Midwestern accent right now, but if I had to define it, like someone from Michigan, Minnesota. I'm not making fun of Minnesota right now. I'm just thinking if I know people from Minnesota with an accent, that's how I would think of it. Minnesota. That's how she's. My cat. My cat is probably from Minnesota. If I had to give her a city, that would be where her accent's from.
Who's hungry?
Right? I don't know. Minnesota. So this is a canvas panel. It's not board, it's canvas. Panel. Paneled canvas. Minnesota. And let's see. Of course I have to sign my name, right? I can't put everybody else's name, but not mine.
Hey.
E.
Bowls. That's not allowed. Here.
Dot.
Stick with your bowl.
F.
Stick with your bowl.
E. R.
Some who doesn't. Hey. You're such piglets.
U-S-O-N. Minnesota. So we've got the cats. Let's see how we can use this. I think what we got to do is we got to add more eyes, more eye-looking things. So let's add a set of eyes right here. Eyes are always helpful, right? Anytime you add an eye, anytime you add an eye, it instantly becomes more interesting because people react to eyes. When you paint an eye, people instantly go, "Oh wow, it's an eye. There must be faces," and then it becomes instantly recognizable. So what do I do now? Let's make some yellow eyes. Actually, you know what? I don't want to add yellow eyes because it's gonna make it super confusing. The fact that there's like a yellow eye. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try to do my best to get the most out of this tube here. Go buck wild. Can I pull the camera in front of it? What are you saying? Can I pull the camera in front of it? What do you mean in front of it? Any way to get that little tag off your screen? It's in the way. Oh yeah, here, let me just take it off. I'm done with this. There we go. I'm done with this tag. That tag. Alright. It was distracting, huh? Let's go with this. I want to get the most out of this tube as possible. I use so much white paint. So let's go in here. And in here. Always got to add eyes. Let's add some eyes right here.
Tomorrow, leave this thing on and I give you quarters.
I have quarters in my car. Okay. And we get that little tag face onto the canvas. And this needs a border, as people have already said. So how should I make the border? Maybe I'll just use black on the border to celebrate Halloween here. I'm not going to paint a full border, just a playful use of brush marks so that there's something that keeps the eye on the canvas and you know that this like is an edge. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm gonna try it out. It keeps the edge like in, keeps the viewer's attention within the borders. Maybe I should draw a line. I don't know. What do you think? Draw a line. Should I paint in a border? Does this look cheesy? Does that look cheesy? I think that looks kind of cheesy, but I don't know. Let's be a little cheesy here. Cheesy painted border. Who does that? Who paints a border? You should always leave a little border rather than painting a border. But figuring it out as we go. Now, I wonder if Basquiat did live streams, I wonder if he would still just paint names of celebrities, or if he would have painted the names of like random people that he knew that popped into his live streams. Or was he constantly just criticizing this idea of hero worship? Throw a frame on that, that's the border, a madman, breaking all the rules. I mean, I think the colors are actually pretty nice, though. This like black and white color combination with the white eyes. And then the cats. The big bright whites. I've used up as much paint as I can tolerate for one day. I have no more paint left on my can. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me scratch that. I have a little bit of paint left. I don't know what to do with it. Let me just scrape it all up. Scrape up as much paint as I have left. Scrape it up, scrape it up. Scrape it all up. Scrape it all up. Some of it's not coming up, but scrape as much of it up as I can. Scrape it up. Scraping, scraping. This paint is dried so fast, my goodness. That is a booger. Scrape this paint up, and let's see what we can lay down here. So lay this down, lay that down. It's not even much paint, so I thought it would be more, but it's not. So as a character that I can't name right now once said, abada, 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 that's all, folks. I'm going to call that a completion for the day. I have finished 2 works. I don't know if y'all can see this thing in the background, but that was once a flower painting, and now it is no longer a flower painting. This was once a painting of an angel, but it is now no longer a painting of an angel. Would Hemingway written a book if he wasn't drunk? You know, that's a good question. I will say that I think the myth of I don't know, that's a really good question. I think that there's a myth that artists have to be under the influence of something to create their best work. And although I believe that's not true for the most part, like I believe that most artists create their best work when they are in a positive frame of mind. Most artists. That does bring up a good person to wonder about. That being Ernest Hemingway, and wondering, like, would he have done that well if he was not such a alcohol enthusiast? But anyway, I mean, I don't know. When we think of like Jackson Pollock too, he was a heavy drinker. But did he do his best work while he was under the influence? I don't know. But let's pull this up right here. I'm going to pop this to the second level. So I got to take a photo of it. And I'm just going to cover my palette just a little bit at the corners. I don't want the cats getting into it. But I do want whatever's in there to dry up so that when I do come back to this, I can just scrape it. I'm going to do a scraping video tomorrow. But yes, that's a self-portrait. Got a self-portrait right there. And then another painting that I've since covered up. But a lot of interesting things happening. The opposite of religious art, is it? This is my religion. Yeah, I don't know. That painting of the angel didn't really feel like me. I felt weird having it because then, I felt like people were gonna like look at my Instagram page and go, "Oh, he paints angels. How cute." And You know, I don't. And honestly, I think it was if I was to become a Christmas painter, a painter of a Christmas and holiday and religious scenes, I think I could make some cute paintings. But it just, I don't know, it didn't fit. I didn't think it fit what I do or feel. But I did a good job of it. I just definitely liked it. But here we go. Yes, no, spiritual but not religious is the way I say it. You know, spiritual. You know, religion. When I think of the word religion, and I don't want to get too philosophical, I'll just like, you know, for me, I definitely believe in spirituality, in the spirit, but I don't personally practice. I personally don't practice religion in the sense of religion being a daily ritual or a thing that you study on a regular basis or read or like, you know, something that involves rituals to preserve the spirit or following a specific certain set of beliefs or whatever. But anyway, Thomas Kincaid. I like Thomas Kincaid. I don't mind being kitsch. I like the idea of being a kitsch artist. What's wrong with being a kitsch artist? You're a celebrated artist that people really like to see. I mean, Thomas Kincaid's a legend. He's got galleries all over the world that just feature his paintings. It's amazing. And honestly, today, in modern times, I think today it's easier to become a kitsch artist than it is to become a fine artist. Right? Like, it's so easy to go, oh, people love cats, so let me just do cute paintings of cats. Michael, I'm going to have to challenge you here. I've definitely heard about your gallery that's in the bathroom of a gas station. So I'm going to have to challenge you as one of the people that I interact with to come up with another joke the next time. I'm going to have to challenge you there. I'm going to have to hold you accountable to come up with new jokes. As much as I liked it the first 3 times, I just feel like I want to hear something different. It is not a joke. All right. Okay, cool. Well, this is it for tonight. And we're going to go ahead and call this a wrap on the evening. So, Michael Wilbur, Polite Water, and whoever else tunes in, Kitsch Art. You need to change your handle in Minnesota, Kitsch Art. Not to downplay, your joke, but that's one thing about my live streams. I like to challenge the people that pop into here to come up with different creative ideas. But with that, hey, take care, everybody. Thanks for being here. It is very appreciated to be able to do this work and be able to hear all sorts of ideas and conversations. So, right on. All right, everybody. Have a good night.